ठीक है, स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, all. Myself is Anchal, Academic Consultant, CIET, NCERT. I welcome you all in the district-wise online orientation program of PRASHAST application. This is specifically for Ernakulam, Kerala. I'd like to welcome District Coordinator Deepa Devi ma'am, and I also want to welcome my colleague Hemlatta Rajput ma'am, and I also welcome Ajay Prasad sir. Both are consultant in CIET NCERT, and both will tell us how this application helpful to screen 21 disabilities and demonstrate the functionality of PRASHAST application. I also welcome my colleague Praveen sir, Rohit sir, uh, mm, Promita ma'am for this session. They will join us silently and will be available for the technical support. So, Hemlatta ma'am, I like to ask you, as the PRASHAST application is launched in 2022 and a revamped version launched in 2025. So what is the difference in both application and what the application PRASHAST used for?
Yeah, thank you, Anchal ma'am. Before we start regarding the PRASHAST 2.0 in detail, I request all the participants, we have sent one of the link for the pre-test. Please fill this questionnaire so that it will be useful for us to design our session and modify our session as per the need of the participants. It will really helpful to us. So I request you, all of you, it will take hardly 2 to 3 minutes. Just fill this questionnaire and submit it. And we will mark your attendance accordingly also. So please cooperate on this and please complete this. So we are going to understand in detail that is what is the PRASHAST 2.0 and how it is differentiated from previous one also, and why we need to screen our children. As we know that PRASHAST basically it's a tool designed for the pre-assessment holistic screening tool, is modified as a application where the teacher and the special educator can use this application and screen students in two parts, part 1 and part 2. The main purpose of this application is to support quick and early screening of the 21 disability categories recognized under the Rights of Person with Disabilities RPWD Act 2016, and NEP 2020 also suggests that in inclusive education we need to understand the learning requirement of every learner. So screening is most important here. And why we are saying that here we have to screen every children, because we know that learning disabilities and learning requirement of every children is different, and that's why we encourage every participant here that you have to screen each and every child with this application. Currently this application is available in both the mode, iOS as well as Android device. You can use this application, and we know that there are three major stakeholders in the application. One is the principal, second one is teacher and special educator, how their functions are related to each other, and coordination is required in this application. We will discuss in detail. So we'll go through with this application, as well as we need to understand that why we need to screen our children for the PRASHAST. So before I go with this, I'll ask you one question. What do you think, that are we able to recognize all the 21 disability visually in our student? Will it be possible? And if it is not, then which are the disabilities we cannot observe or visually? Please write the name, or you can unmute yourself and answer that, so that we can go with that particular area. Yeah. Can you share your opinion on that? Are we able to observe all the disabilities visually? Is it possible?
No.
Okay, then let me know that which are the disability we cannot observe visually. Yeah, please suggest some name.
Dyscalculia.
Okay. Anyone?
And we received 10, 15 responses.
Okay.
most are responses not possible to screen all the disabilities,
Okay.
and some are responding like learning disability.
Okay, learning
Neha, Habib,
disabilities.
answering learning disability.
Okay.
So
I think disabilities related to the thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, these all are blood related disease which can also not, which are, these are also not able to visualize and we cannot recognize it. So you can see the list of the disabilities which can visually we can recognize, and the list of the disabilities which cannot be observed visually, and that's the main limitation comes to us. We know that our children is most important for all of us, and to recognize this disabilities, 21 disabilities list for us, a teacher is very difficult, and that's why this application is helping us to understand our children better way and to monitor this 21 disabilities with our among our children, and recognize that symptoms is most important, and this application is helping us in terms of part 1 and part 2, and that's why we suggest that you have to be screen your children here with this application, so that every children will get an screen, as well as if they are they are selected for the part 2, the detailed screening was done by the special educator, and if something is found over there, we can send our children to the camp, and when we are sending these children to the camp, medical practitioner will decide that whether this disability is actually aligned with the students or not. So this application is initially helping to all of us, so we request that you please use this application and screen each and every children in our in your school. Yeah, thank you.
okay, Hemlatta ma'am, here is one announcement for all the participants. Please don't mark your attendance in the chat box. Kindly fill the pre-test. Only those who attend this pre-test, we will share the all the advocacy material with all of them, and your attendance will automatically registered with us. So kindly don't mark your attendance in the chat box. Only fill pre-test. It will take only 2 or 3 minutes. So thank you, Hemlata ma'am, for explaining why this PRASHAST application is necessary at school level, as this application is can be used by the teacher and help us to screen all 21 disability which we can see or cannot. So now I like to request Ajay sir. Sir, can you tell us whom can work on the PRASHAST application? Who are the main holders, and what the role they will need to play?
Yes, ma'am. So I'll be giving details about the stakeholders or who can work on this application. The first stakeholder who will be looking after the screening process in the school and it will play a major part is head teacher. And we have teachers who will be conducting screening for all the students. And then we have special educators who will be narrowing down our screening and giving the exact, uh, narrowing it further so that students can get tentative disability. They can be marked with tentative disabilities through this application. Okay, so now let's see like what are the major roles. Sorry. So let me repeat once again. Mhm. Yes. So Let me repeat once again. Like, what are the role of head teacher, teacher, and special educator? Head teachers are the will play an important role because they will be looking after the screening that is being conducted in their schools. They will also be onboarding teachers and special educators. That means allowing them into the application so that they can conduct screening in their schools. They will also be assigning screening to respective teachers and special educators in the school. And once the screening is assigned, then the teachers would be conducting screening part one for all the students in the classroom. This means we cannot demarcate that these students cannot be screened. Everyone who has behavioral symptoms or not, both are to be registered on the application and screened. And we'll be explaining the process. And this once the student is screened by the teacher and the some behavior we have observed some of the behaviors and marked on the application, those students will be screened further by the special educator, who are the subject matter experts and knows about the disability in detail.
So this is the process, this is these responsibilities who need to perform by the teacher, special educator, and headmaster. So now I like to request Hemlatta ma'am, can you please explain us what is the basically part one and part two screening, and what is
Sure.
the difference between both screening, and how the teacher and special educator can use these screening for the screen to all the 21 disabilities?
Sure, sure. Thank you, Anchal ma'am. Let's see the difference between part one and part two screening. Basically, screening part one is done by the regular class teacher in school. We suggest that regular class teacher, the class teacher who knows students, frequently transaction done between students and teacher in classroom, as well as knowing students' background very well. That's the most important area, because this is the 63 statement we are giving here in this part one. So we advise that this screening done by the regular class teacher in the school system. And this is the first preliminary screening. So very important that teacher must observe their students at least for 2 weeks, means 7 to 15 days. They have to observe their students in classroom, in a regular school activity, in sports, or in other activities they are participating, as well as they must understand their background also. If they want to talk to their parents, they definitely talk to their parents, and at least 2 week observation is required before starting the part one screening. So very important thing is that 63 statements, teacher needs to observe 2 weeks of the students and then fill this part one screening. Let's see, we come to the, once we complete part one screening, means there is statement you select and you submit, the screening will be, if you have selected the statement, it will go to the part two screening. But for example, teacher does not select any symptom for this 63 statements, then you have to select none of the above. If you select none of the above, the part one screening clear the students' data as a auto close, and it will not go to the special educator. So when the part two screening start, when the part two screening start, once you submit the screening part one. Now in a part two, this is done by only and only special educator. Now special educator has to observe what is the statement filled by the teacher in a part one thoroughly, and then after he or she will observe students that exactly whatever filled by teacher is really seen or observed in the students or not. If he or she feels that as a special educator that this is not observed in the students, then he or she can modify that disability. Or if he or she observe that no, this is not the only disability, other disabilities also observed, so multiple disabilities also can pick by the special educator, and they can go through the special different disabilities and their statements and fill this form thoroughly. If they want to fill the observation regarding the students, if they want to mark something, so special remark over also they can mention over there. The full right is given to the special educator. If they think that students is difficulty in different ways, they can mark over there and fill this screening part two. So part one and part two is major difference. Part one points of view, teacher will get 30 days time, and for part two points of view, the special educator will receive 90 days. The difference of days, because of that, special educator has to taken care of the multiple school, because they receive a request from the various principal and they has to work for the multiple schools, and we know that special educators, number of special educators in our country is very less. So that's why we have given 90 days time to them. And this time limit is also
and it possible by the principal. So we will see that how it works. Yeah.
So thank you, Hemlatta ma'am, to explaining how the PRASHAST application is used by the teacher and special educator for the screening. And there is two parts. Part one is used by the teacher and part two is used by the special educator. So now, Ajay, my question to you, how we can download this application, where we get this application, because PRASHAST is used now, we can download for both iOS and Android version. So we wanted to know how we can download this application and how we can log in this.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be taking everyone step by step to the processes required on Precious application. So the first process is to download Precious application. As we know, this is a revamped version of Precious 1.0. So I request everyone who has been working on Precious application since 2022 to uninstall their application and go to Play Store. And those who have not installed, so they can start from by searching in the Play Store. Once we search on Play Store, we have to make sure this application is you have to download application published by NCERT. Okay, and once the application is installed, now the application is ready to use. So once we open the application by clicking on the icon, there is a splash screen followed with a, buffer page with a logo of Ministry of Education and NCERT, along with some of the details about Precious. And then there's an option to log in with Aadhaar. Like this is the login page where we are using Meri Pehchan as a login tool. So for all the users those who are logging first time, we would request to select login with Aadhaar. Okay, Aadhaar for the first time, because some of the issues that we have encountered is that once people use their mobile number, their mobile numbers are not updated. There are cases where they cannot find account because there's a link to Meri Pehchan, and there's a limit of account that can be created using one mobile number. So we request you to use Aadhaar number for the first time login. Once that is done, you have to enter the Aadhaar number. Matlab, after clicking on the option, you will get an OTP to the registered mobile number, and then a consent page where we will be asked consent that these details are being fetched from the application. We want to make sure that and assure you that we are not fetching any other detail from your DigiLocker account, no document, nothing. This is just an authentication tool where we are authenticating every person as a valid user first. Secondly, we are fetching details so that it could prevent unauthorized access to the application. And third, we want to make sure the privacy is in place. So moving forward, once before allowing, you'll get an option to give a consent validity. So consent validity is an option where if anybody wants that they are not liking to log in every day, or they want that like you have logged in right now, and it should be you should be logged in for a week or two. You can select those date on this page only, because there's an option of consent validity. Once that is done, click on allow. A processing page would be there, and once the processing page is over, so now you are into the application. So this is the initial phase of login with Meri Pehchan that every user has to do in every role, that is head teacher, teacher, and special educator on Precious application. Okay, once you yes, ma'am.
Ajay sir, so you tell us how we can download the application for both devices like iOS and Android, and how we can log in the application. We have two options, Meri Pehchan. One is an Aadhaar and second is
Aadhaar
mobile.
mobile.
You suggested to log in, preferably use Aadhaar to
Yes,
log in
ma'am.
in the application. And the user who requested us and asked us many times why we need to log in again and again every day, and every time we log out, close the application. So the reason the consent they provided, it's need to extend the period. They need
Yes,
to extend. If they provide the consent for 1 month, so they don't need to log in
every day. Yes,
every
ma'am.
day. Okay. So now when the person is logging through Aadhaar and land this page where he or she can see their name. So it is, if someone log in the application and the name is incorrect, he will find someone other name. So what he or she need to do?
Yes, ma'am. If there's discrepancy in name observed, so we would request you to get it corrected either through DigiLocker. There are you cannot get freedom to select rectify all the details on your Aadhaar. There might be cases where you can rectify details through DigiLocker account, or you have to go to Aadhaar centers and get it rectified. Because like Prashast application is not creating account; it is using Meri Pehchan as a validation tool. So any details that needs to be updated should be done on Aadhaar itself rather than on Prashast application.
Okay, sir. So, we suggested and requested to all the participant first they delete previous application in their from their devices and download new application. Second, when they log in the application and find someone else's name, so first they correct their details, then move further. So now, Hemlatta ma'am, my question to you: after login in the application, the next step is role selection.
Yeah.
There is three role who
Yeah.
will perform in this application. Was first is headmaster, teacher, and special educator. So how they can select their role and perform their response?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So once you have registered with the Aadhaar and you enter, you get this page here. You can see that Anchal Rani has already registered with the Aadhaar. Now she has to select the role because as a teacher, head teacher, and special educator, we need to enter your role first. So we just click here on drop down. We find the list first. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the list of the role available with us. Now, we as a Ajay Rani has added herself as a head teacher. So we select this head teacher. Click on this. Now you can see that head teacher and you have to enter the school UDIS number here as well as the email ID of school which is linked to the UDIS number. Now we recommend that please use your UDIS linked email ID of school. So it will be good for the future also. But if it is anyhow you are not able to write it your school UDIS email ID, you can temporarily use your ID, not an issue. But we suggest that please use UDIS link email ID and then you continue here. Once you continue, you can see that do you want to continue with this detail? If you are sure that your detail is completely, you feel correctly, you can click on the yes. And once you click on the yes, you see that your details are here, your birth date, your name, your contact number, all this detailed information is fetched from the Meri Pehchan. And if you feel that it all are correct, you can just submit, click on submit. Now, once you click on submit, you are now successfully completed your profile as a head teacher. So this is the head teacher dashboard. Once you complete your role selection process, and now you can see that head teacher dashboard. Now, for the role of teachers, as a teacher, how you are going to select your role. So let's see. Same thing, you have to enter in this application through Aadhaar and click on this select role arrow. Once you select the arrow, you get the option of teacher. Now you have to select the teacher option. And once you select the teacher option, now you have to enter your category of select teacher category, TGT, PGT, what is that? And next one is the select teaching level, foundational, preparatory, middle, secondary, as per the NEP 2020 we have mentioned here. So you select your in which class you are teaching and select accordingly. Then again, this will ask, do you want to continue with these details? Then you click on yes if you are okay with that details. Now you can see your details as a teacher, your birth date, your mobile number and other details. If all are correct, you just click on submit button. Now you are successfully entered as a teacher in this application. So let's see what the message you are receiving. Now you can see that you receive a particular message. Dear Sanskar Chorus, you have successfully registered as a teacher on Prasad application. And same thing. Now you are already entered as a teacher. Now you can add school. Means you have to click on this and enter the school UDIS number so that your school request was sent and principal will approve your request. So now you can see that as a head teacher, you have already awaiting approval from head teacher Achal Rani. Being a school teacher, you have given a request to the principal that you please accept me as a teacher. So you are waiting for the approval from the principal. So this is the profile you have sent request to the school principal.
So, ma'am, after the login role selection, it is necessary to verify the teacher and special educator unless they cannot work in the application.
Yeah. And the verification is only possible after, as a teacher you are registering, you have to add the school first. And then this notification reach to the principal. Same thing for the special educator.
And he will
also.
get to know ki someone requested for
Yeah,
verification.
Correct.
Okay.
In notification
Okay.
bank.
So now we know how the special educator select their role.
Okay, let's see. Special educator in same way has to enter in this application with the Aadhaar number and select their role first. So you can see the drop down the details and you can find out the special educator option. You select that, click on this. Now here special educator has to enter CRR ID, UDAS ID, Rickshaw ID. Any one number they has to be mentioned here. So I request that you can use your UDAS number and you can continue. You can enter your CRR ID. That can also work here. Then you submit, continue with this. Now you can see as a special educator your profile here as the date of birth, your mobile number, and if you confirm your details, just submit. You also receive the notification. Do you want to continue? If you are sure that your details are correct, you click on the yes. Now you are successfully completed your profile process and you will also receive a message from the application. And this is your profile. You can see that how your profile will look. This is your process account number. Okay. Let's see. Now you have received this notification that Mr. Dharampal, Ms. Dharampal, you have successfully registered as a special educator on process the application. So, and same thing as a teacher has to add school, they also add school here because you are going to send a request that you want to work in this school system as a special educator. You have to add school, click on this button and you have to add the UDAS number on this. And once you send this request, your head principal is knowing that you want to work with the processed application and they will give you approval on this. Yeah.
So, ma'am, now our participant well aware and well know ki how they can select their role as a teacher, special educator, and headmaster. So, before going further, we have 5 hand raised. This is Betty Matthew, Manihole, VKV, and there are 2 devices, Samsung and Vivo, and one is Siddiqui. So, I like to request all 5 if you have any query, so they can ask directly to our expert, Hemlatta ma'am and Ajay sir. One question we receive, ma'am. This app is for special educator also?
Oh, this application is for all the stakeholders continuously. I'm mentioning that head teacher, teacher, and special educator. All 3 roles performed in this application, and all 3 stakeholders has to be joined here.
So, Lalita ma'am, as Hemlatta ma'am told, special educator also one of the stakeholder of this application, and part 2 screening should be done by the special educator only. So they need to register in the application, select their role, and the request will be sent to the headmaster. So now, Ajay sir, I request you to kindly explain. One more hand is raised, Sapna Jacob. Ma'am, if you have any question, you can ask us or
One
even
more
write.
question we have seen, is it special educator or counselor or only special educator? Special adjustment.
Ma'am, here the special educator, we want to say that anyone who is eligible to conduct screening part 2 or is well aware of the disabilities. So special educator are people who have CRR number and issued by RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India. So they are the for
Right
them,
person.
they are the right person to conduct. But it depends on state based on the guidelines and the notification that they have issued. So the relevant person can conduct screening part 2.
Yes, sir. So Ajay sir is saying if someone is trained and have certificates to screen as a special educator, they can work as a special educator. Ma'am, the same question
Sir,
is.
can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
please.
ma'am.
There are counselors and special educators also in the school. Counselors don't have this Rehabilitation Council of India's ID. We are trained only in counseling. So, can a counselor do uh, this screening instead of the special educators? My question, or only the special educators can do the screening because that CRR number has to be
Yeah,
added, isn't it?
typically, if you see that, ma'am, as per our understanding and requirement and detailed understanding of this special education, we suggest
Yeah.
that you please enroll your special educator here. We understand that counselor is also has a wonderful experience in this, but we request that as much as
Yeah, only the
possible.
special educators
Yeah,
can do it. That is the
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you. Thank you so much.
So someone is also asking the special educator or headmaster can only work on this application. So as Hemlatta ma'am already told, there are three stakeholders who collectively work to screen the children at the school level. Headmaster monitor the screening process and verify the teacher and special educator, assign the classes. Teacher perform part 1 screening and special educator perform part 2 screening. And after completion of the part 2 screening, teacher headmaster will share the screening data with the Samagra Shiksha official for the conduction of identification and certification camp. So this is the complete flow of this application. So all three should be in the application and perform their responsibility.
Achal ma'am, I want to highlight to our participants that all these three roles are interdependent to
Yes.
each other. If
Correct, ma'am.
headmaster does not assign screening, does not approve teacher and special educator will not be able to work in here. If teacher cannot do part 1 screening, special educator will not perform part 2 screening. So it's also, and special educator, if don't complete that part 2 screening, how the head teacher will get the report for their school? So all the three roles are important and
Yes.
they all are connected to each other.
So this application, Prasad application is designed in this way. We all should perform their responsibility and interconnected. So now, Ajay, I like to request to kindly demonstrate the dashboard of all three stakeholders so we can get to know what the actual responsibility they will perform and where they can use where they can find these features in the application.
Yes, ma'am. So now we'll be giving details about the dashboards that each stakeholder has. So the first dashboard we can see in the screen where I put this laser. Yeah, it is the head teacher's dashboard. So the head teacher's role is to monitor the overall progress in school and assign screening. So these functions are over here. In the overview section, the head teacher can see how many students have been on PRASHAST. So this talks about only students that have been onboarded. How many students have been screened in screening part 1? How many student has screening has been auto close? Auto close means if a student has been screened in part 1 and the teacher has observed no disability or no behavioral symptoms, so that will be termed as auto close by the application, and that will not go further in screening part 2. Whereas some of the students whose behavior has been observed will go to second part of screening and will be closed by special educator. So similarly, in to-do list, we have manage teacher, manage special educators, assign screening, and at the bottom we have screening part 1 because head teacher would be responsible and will have access to all the data of screening part 1 and 2. Moving forward for the teacher, so teacher has the responsibility to conduct screening of all the student. So the teacher will can see student assigned for part 1, like the number of classes assigned to the teacher, and in that the number of students that teacher has onboarded. Then we have completed part 1 and pending part 1. So this will give an overview of the teacher's responsibility. Teacher will have access to the history of the screening that he or she has conducted for their respective classes. And further, we have this as a screen dashboard of a special educator. This is a bit different. The reason behind this is that the special educator will be associated to one or many schools. Like a school will have only one head teacher, and one a teacher can be associated to a single school, but a special educator will be associated to multiple schools. So a special educator's list of schools under the section My Schools. A special educator can add gives requests to several head teachers to get associated with the respective schools. This can be done by the function of add school. And to see the overall progress, there's a dashboard which would say like total students assigned to the special educator, number of screening completed and pending. And likewise, special educator will have access to screening part 2 only.
Okay, sir. So, teacher, special educator, and headmaster can see the data of screening.
Yes, ma'am.
Special headmaster have the access of complete school, and teacher have the access of specifically their assigned classes. So now, as the teacher, special educator, and headmaster all are logged in, now the headmaster received the request of teacher and special educator for verification. So first, Hemlatta ma'am, I'd like to request you kindly explain how the headmaster can verify the teacher request.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anchal ma'am. I want to highlight here the teacher verification is a precondition for the teacher also to work in the application. So it's a duty or it's an important aspect from the head teacher points of view that they must verify a teacher's request first. Let's see how we are going to verify our teachers. This is the dashboard of head teacher. Anchal Rani is head teacher here. You can see that. Now, in a dashboard, you can see that manage teacher button is here. I need to click on this because I need to approve my teacher first. So I just click on this manage teacher. Now you can see that. Now you can see that in manage teacher, once I click over there, I found the list of pending teachers, those who have requested me for approval. So Sanskar Poras is one of the teacher who has requested me and his list is in pending. Now I need to click on this button and so that I can accept his request. Let's see, I'll click on that. Now once I click on that, if I feel that this person is correct and working in my school, I need to understand that this profile is correct. You can click on yes button. Now the teacher's onboarding request was accepted and added to the school. So you can see that now Sanskar Poras is a teacher and we have accepted as and his profile is shown in accepted button. You can see that same thing if you feel that this is not in your school system and somebody has sent the request, you can reject also, or some profile is wrong, you can reject also. So both the option is given to the principal. Selection means acceptance and rejection also.
Okay, Hemlatta ma'am. So before we understand how the headmaster can verify the special educator to Hemlatta ma'am, I have a question. Ajay sir, this is for you only. Ki, Asha ma'am is asking, I am not able to join, I am not able to log in using mobile number. It shows invalid mobile. What
Okay.
may be reason? So is there possibility his mobile number is not registered on the Meri Pehchan or DigiLocker?
Yes, most probably these okay, in these error we have observed that the user has not created an account on DigiLocker. So, ma'am, I'll just take a minute to show like from where they can create an account on DigiLocker.
Okay, and see, when I responded her, see again, when I suggested ki she can use the Aadhaar number,
Mhm.
so she's saying ki OTP is not coming when she using Aadhaar. So maybe his number or Aadhaar number she don't have the DigiLocker account.
Yeah, exactly, ma'am.
So if he comes in the application and click on the Aadhaar, so she have the option to redirect to the DigiLocker account.
Ma'am, in this application, there's no option to redirect to Meri Pehchan. So I'll show you a process like how to go to Meri Pehchan. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you can see this is a Meri Pehchan page. Please note this Meri Pehchan login URL. You have to use this URL to go to Meri Pehchan. Over there, there's an option to log in. Go to login, and over here you can find login with DigiLocker. So this DigiLocker is the section where you have to check if the details are there. If you have not registered, there's an option new to Meri Pehchan. You can register from here.
Okay, so the person not receiving any OTP on Aadhaar and mobile number,
Yes, ma'am.
they need to register themselves on the DigiLocker. And so you can paste this link in the chat box, so Asha ma'am can use this link for the registration.
Sure, ma'am. I'll do that. So, ma'am, now we'll be continuing with the presentation.
Okay. Ma'am, Hemlatta ma'am, one more question we received from Silpa ma'am. In higher secondary school, who is came under head teacher, principal or headmaster, there is many CWSN student in higher secondary level, also in higher school level.
So we request the person who is aligned with the UDIS number of your school, maybe a headmaster at your stage or in your state, or maybe a principal. That person is going to give approval for the teachers. So you need to link that profile first.
So anyone taking care the head responsibility
Yeah.
of the school can be performed as a headmaster.
Preferably those contact details and email ID sent to the UDIS points of view. Yeah.
Same issue is raised by the minimal VK, not able to log in using mobile number. It shows invalid mobile number. So there are two persons who are raising same issue, invalid mobile number they are facing.
Okay. In that case, ma'am, I would request you to please try going to and check if the details linked to your email address, I'm saying Aadhaar is correct or not. And it's because that is the only point that is login is not taken care by PRASHAST application. We are taking all the details from Meri Pehchan, that is National Single Sign-On by Government of India.
So kindly correct your information in DigiLocker and we will fetch the information from the DigiLocker and it should be correct.
Yes.
So, Hemlatta ma'am, we have one more question. Is this application only for special schools or CWSN students only?
I think completely it is a wrong understanding in terms of our educated points of view. We need to understand this is the screening we have designed for each and every student. So this is applied for every student here. So it is not only for CWSS schools or special schools. So it is for every school and every children. We need to mark this in our understanding and try to reach out to each and every child in our school. Yeah.
Okay, I just have one question for you. Surya Gayatri. He's asking, what is the PIN?
Okay, PIN is, though there's an option for a PIN, there is also option to log in. There's pinless login or there's an option to log in with OTP. But PIN is a 6-digit number that we give in DigiLocker. So if we have forgotten, there's also an option to recover this by forget PIN in the application.
So if they don't remember the PIN, they can log in through pinless option by entering the OTP they receive on the registered mobile number.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ajay sir. So if someone have any other questions, they can write us in the chat box. I will ask to the expert. So Hemlatta, I just told us that headmaster verify the teacher. So now we want to know how the headmaster can verify the special educator.
Yes, this is also an important function done by this principal for special educator. Let's see how they are going to verify special educator on application. Now this is the dashboard of head teacher. And you can see that yellow button for manage special educator. As a head teacher, we need to click on this. So I'm going to click on this. Now we found the list of pending special educator who has requested me to give approval to work in his school. So Dharampal Singh has sent the request and I can see that in a pending list. Now I click on this button and see the profile of Dharampal sir, who is a special educator, and the profile is authentic. I need to accept and click on the accept button. Now I'm accepting this profile. So this application is asking me again, are you sure you want to approve the school request from special educator? Then I'm going to click on this yes. Okay. Now, special educator has been successfully added to the school system. Now, once you send this request, means you have already added, now the notification sent to the special educators. And you can see that now in a pending list, there is no pending any name you can not observe here because we have already accepted. Okay. And one more thing, you can see that in accepted, you can see that we have accepted Dharampal Singh. The list, the name is here in this list. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to explain here that once the you accept the special educator, you can reject also because why we have given approval process to the headmaster because we want that authentic teachers and special educator only work here and to check their authenticity, their working profile is the main responsibility of the principal. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Hemlatta ma'am. Ajay sir, we received again a question from Surya. Signed into DigiLocker. What I have to do next to download PRASHAST application?
Okay, you have signed into DigiLocker, sir, then you have to follow the same process. Go to Play Store and look for Precious application published by NCERT and install that application on your mobile phone.
Okay, sir. Surya sir, maybe you received your answer. You need to download this application from Play Store or App Store. Depends on your devices. It is Android or iOS.
iOS, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now when the teacher and special educator is verified by the headmaster, now is next task of headmaster is assigning classes. So Ajay sir, we like to ask what the process to assigning classes. So for part one is screening, we need to assign the classes to the teacher. So how the headmaster can assign classes to the teacher?
One question asked by the
Can we able to change head teacher at any point? Ma'am Hemlatta, you can answer this question.
yes, if the head teacher has changed, we can change it, but the profile request only sent by the head teacher only, and this is possible.
Okay. One more question we received, Ajay sir, but this question we will ask later to you regarding the transfer case. So-
Yes, ma'am, we'll be taking this transfer and single teacher school and by the end of this presentation.
Okay.
We have a separate section for
So we will demonstrate how we can change the school, how we can change the proposed, and how we can, in the case of transfer, how we can use this application.
Is the process that same in state?
Yes, ma'am. This application is same because this is a national application. This is same for all the school, whether it is CBSE, ICSE, or state board, anything. Everybody is using the same application.
Okay, sir. So you can continue, Ajay sir.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll be going forward with assigning classes to the teacher for Precious Part 1. So now we'll be seeing how head teacher assigns screening. So head teacher will, all the action that needs to be taken is on the head teacher's dashboard, that is manage teacher, manage special educator, assign screening and manage student. So right now we'll be seeing like what assign screening does. Once you click on assign screening, the head teacher will be taken to a page where he has to assign screening part 1 and part 2 to a teacher and special educator respectively. So first of all, we'll be seeing how to assign screening part 1. Head teacher will be selecting the tab of assign screening part 1, as you can see that is on the top. And once that is done, then head teacher has to see the bottom where there's an option to assign screening part 1 over here. Once this is done, there will be a form where the head teacher has to select the class, fill in the section, and then from the drop down, the head teacher can select the teacher to whom or her to whom he has to assign screening, then a start date and a due date. So once these details are filled, this is how the form will look. From the drop down, they have the head teacher has selected class. They have section, name of the teacher, start date and end date. By default, this application provides a time period of 30 days for any teacher to conduct screening part 1, but principal can obviously change these options from his or her end. Once this is submitted, the screening would be assigned to the teacher. And here we can see there's an edit option. There, for some reason, teacher is not able to meet the deadline given by the head teacher. So there could be a mutual discussion, and based on that, head teacher can change the dates by using the edit option over here.
So Deepa ma'am has requested that participant can ask question in Malayalam also. So you can unmute yourself because Mr. Sharon is with us to help us to understand your queries into Malayalam by translating into English. So we request all the participants, don't hesitate yourself. Please ask in Malayalam. We are ready to answer your questions. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, Hemlatta ma'am, my next question to you, how the headmaster can assign the part 2 screening to a special educator?
Sure. As we know that we have completed the part 1 screening assigning process, similarly, the part 2 process is aligned the
CIET
same. We
team in order.
need to understand that this is the dashboard of the head teacher. Same thing, we have to click on the assign screening button. I'm going to click on that. Now you can see the button of the assign screening part 2 and I need to click on this and assign new screening part 2. The blue button is below. So I'm just clicking on that. Okay. Let's see the profile is here. I need to fill academic year is mentioned already here 2025, 26 assign screening special educator. Once you drop down, you click on this drop down, you will find the name of special educator to those you have selected an approval given by you. Same thing, start date and end date, how much time we want to give to special educator. It's up to you. Even principal can add it and give extra time also. Approximately 90 days in the application is available. Now you have to select the class. Here we are not going to select class section here because special educator has to work with the multiple schools. So we have given in his profile as a class only. And now you are okay with this. Then you have to click on the submit button. Now same process is mentioned here. Selection of date and end date and closing date. So you have to click on the button OK. Now you can see that you have to submit here. Everything is mentioned here. Name, date, and class Balbadeka 1. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to submit this detail. Now I have already assigned the screening part 2. But you can see and observe the screening acceptance is pending. What do you mean by that? Its meaning is that we have assigned as a principal, but special educator also received the notification after our assigning for the acceptance. Now, special educator has to go for the bell icon, notification icon, and click on that icon so that he can observe the request received from the principal, and he has to accept this. So that's why it's a pending. You can show that it's a pending. Not only that, head teacher can edit the days also here. For example, you send the request, but special educator say that I don't have a time right now. Can you give me 15 days more so that a principal can add it with this pencil button and easily days can be added, or you can transfer this screening to the other special educator. Then you have to be again accept the acceptance from the special educator. So now this is the process of the screening part 2, how we are going to assign to the special educator. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Now the headmaster verify the teacher, headmaster, and special educator and teacher, and assign the classes for part 1 screening to the teacher and for part 2 screening to the special educator. Now the work of teacher is started. He or she need to observe the student for 15 days and will perform the part 1 screening. So,
actually, ma'am, anyone wants to ask a question because Deepa ma'am has suggested for the Malayalam points of view. Anyone has a doubt or any query?
If you have any question, you can unmute your mic, and we have Sharon ma'am with us. So she will translate your question in English.
Yeah.
ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടെ പറയാണ്, ഇപ്പം എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്ത കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്കെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മലയാളത്തിൽ അത് ചോദിക്കാം. ഷാരോൺ ടീച്ചർ അത് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും ഹേമലത മാമിനും ടീമിനും. അപ്പോൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്ത് മുമ്പോട്ട് പോകണം എന്ന് ഒന്നുകൂടെ റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ്. എറണാകുളത്ത് നമുക്ക് കുറച്ചധികം കൺഫ്യൂഷൻസ് പ്രശസ്ത ആപ്പുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതൊക്കെ ക്ലാരിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് തന്നെ പോകണം. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടീമിനെയാണ് നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ലഭിക്കുന്നത്. താങ്ക് യു ഹേമലത മാം.
താങ്ക് യു മാം.
മിസ്, ഞാൻ എറണാകുളത്തു നിന്നാണ്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളില് ഈ ആപ്പ് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
Good afternoon, ma'am. What she said is they have downloaded the app, but they are not able to do the process.
അതെ, ഞങ്ങള് HM നോക്കി ടീച്ചറുടെ നോക്കി, പക്ഷെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വർക്കിംഗ് ആവുന്നില്ല.
They have tried it from both the HM side as well as the teacher side, but they're not able to work it out. Can you just give the reasons?
എന്താണ് റീസൺ മനസ്സിലാവുന്നില്ല.
ഇല്ല മാം,
ഞങ്ങൾക്ക്
അവര് പറയും. അവര് പറഞ്ഞവരെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. ഞാൻ അവർക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തതാണ്. അവര് മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞവരെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, our first question is, ma'am, if ma'am has tried login, so has the head teacher was head teacher able to approve their request
Any error message they are
or
probably
any error message that?
so that we can answer this question?
Yes, ma'am.
വരുന്നുണ്ട് അതോ
For
എന്താ?
example,
ഹലോ മാഡം.
yes ma'am.
മാഡം, ഹൈസ്കൂൾ ഹയർ സെക്കൻഡറി ഉള്ള സ്കൂളില് ഹൈസ്കൂൾ സെഷനിൽ 4 കുട്ടികളാണ് CWSും കുട്ടികളുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഹയർ സെക്കൻഡറിയിൽ 21 കുട്ടികളുണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് പ്രിൻസിപ്പൾ ആണോ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ HM ആണോ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്?
Ma'am, the next doubt is there are 4 students from the high school students who have to be registered in the app, and there are nearly 21 learners of higher secondary students. So who is supposed to log in to the PRASHAST app? Is it the principal of the higher secondary section or the HM of the high school section?
Ma'am, I want to clarify one thing, and I will request Hemlatta ma'am for this, because this is not specifically for selective student. This application is for all the students from class 1 from Balivatika to class 12, and you can not recognize any button, because Hemlatta ma'am already asked there are most of the disabilities which we cannot recognize visually.
And one more thing, Sharon, I just want to explain here. In throughout the country, in some of the states, we consider headmaster as a principal and they don't have a specific name. So if in your school principal is the higher authority and aligned with the UDIS points of view, all the tasks, he or she can enroll with that. But if the monitoring and regular day-to-day work is done by the headmaster over there, not the principal, then we allow the headmaster, not an issue. So don't worry, those who are monitoring the overall task in that area, he or she can definitely. But we request that those email ID, our contact
Yes.
number are aligned with the UDIS of the
Yes.
school is preferably correct and good enough in future also, because everything is going to be monitored as per the UDIS.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll explain. ടീച്ചറെ ക്ലിയർ ആയെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. HM-നോ പ്രിൻസിപ്പളിനോ ചെയ്യാം. ആരുടെ നമ്പറാണോ യൂഡൈസ് ആയിട്ട് ലിങ്ക് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത് അവർക്കത് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ് കേട്ടോ. വേറെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിച്ചോളൂ.
ടീച്ചറെ ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞത് എല്ലാ കുട്ടികൾക്കും അത് ബാധകമാണെന്നല്ലേ? അതായത് സ്പെഷ്യൽ
അതാണ് എല്ലാ കുട്ടികൾക്കും.
അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് എല്ലാ കുട്ടികളെല്ലാം എല്ലാം ഈ പ്രോസസ്സിലൂടെ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയാണോ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്?
Ma'am, they have one more clarification. They want a clarification is that all the students to be conducted the test as far as the PRASHAST app is considered.
Yes, ma'am. Every students in the class and the school needs to be conducted for the screening needs to be conducted for every child in the school system from Balvatika to the class 12.
That's
The reason
perfect.
behind
ടീച്ചർ
that
എല്ലാ കുട്ടികളും കേട്ടോ, ഫ്രം -2 to +2 വരെയുള്ള എല്ലാ കുട്ടികൾക്കും ഈ ടെസ്റ്റ് നടത്തേണ്ടതാണ്. That's perfect.
മാം, എനിക്ക്
Good
പ്രശ്നം
afternoon.
ഗുഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ മാം.
Good afternoon.
കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം പ്ലേ സ്റ്റോറിൽ നിന്ന് ആപ്പൊക്കെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തു. പക്ഷെ എനിക്കും ടീച്ചേഴ്സിനെ അപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യാനോ സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റർ ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനോ ഒന്നും പറ്റിയില്ല. HM-ന് തന്നെ ഒതന്റിഫിക്കേഷൻ വേണം എന്നുള്ള ഒരു മെസ്സേജാണ് വന്നിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അത് വീണ്ടും ആ പ്രശ്നം ഈ വർഷം ഉണ്ടാവുമോ? എന്താ ചെയ്യണേ? ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് ട്രൈ ചെയ്തു, പലരെയും കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്തു, പക്ഷെ പ്രശ്നം പരിഹരിക്കപ്പെട്ടില്ല.
Ma'am, another problem that is put forward is a teacher has already uploaded the app and she has done all the processes, but the authentication is not happening and she cannot add the resource teacher also. So she had the same problem earlier. Will that still continue is the doubt.
He is a head teacher or teacher?
She's a teacher.
Head teacher.
Sorry, she's a head teacher. She's a head teacher.
She did not found any class assigned to her?
Okay, ma'am, head teacher has to approve the request Ma'am, the first step in that case, ma'am, I would request please try this once. So, in the teacher in your school, if they have registered, first, ma'am, please confirm that are those teachers reflecting on your Prashast application, current application?
So, Sharon ma'am, there is a one needed link which Ajay is sharing with us. There is a teacher, if we are registering ourselves, we need to check, we need to we need to send a request to the school system, means to principal. So I have mentioned that add school, you have to click on the add school and enter your UDIS number. So that request sent to the principal, and once the principal will approve your profile, then only you can work in this application.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like we are showing again, like this is a dashboard of the principal. The principal will have to go to manage teacher. Okay, in this manage teacher, ma'am, there is an option to see how many teachers are there in your school. Okay, first we'll have to check if the teachers are there in this accepted list. Like if we click on this accepted, you'll get in your school. So, ma'am, if they are not there, first thing is that they have to log in the Prashast application. Then they have to send a request. Like, let me show how teachers would be doing.
It's a two-way process basically.
Yes, ma'am. For teachers, see, ma'am, teachers like they would be getting into application once they are onboarded. The teacher who are part of your school log in and they will get an option to add school. Once they click on this add school, ma'am, you will get a message or a notification saying that these teacher has applied and the name would be reflecting on the pending list. Ma'am, so you have to approve first, and once that is done, you can assign screening to the teacher. And similarly, if special educator has also requested you, you can assign screening to special educator also.
So, Sharon ma'am, as a teacher, we need to request to our
Ma'am, I
principal
think,
that they approve our profile.
excuse me, ma'am, I think they are saying that even the principal can't log into the Prashast app. I think so.
Okay, ma'am, in that case, ma'am, there are 2 or 3 possibilities that may have happened. Ma'am, first, there is an existing principal on the Prashast application with that UDIS code. Ma'am, in that case, we'll be sharing an help desk number. You can request us to delete the head teacher so that new principal can be onboarded.
ഓക്കെ താങ്ക് യു ടീച്ചർ. ഇപ്പം ഡൗട്ട് ചോദിച്ച ടീച്ചർ ഒന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കണേ. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളോട് അവർ പറഞ്ഞ മറുപടി അവിടെ ഒരു മുമ്പ് ഒരു പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നിരിക്കാം. ആ പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിന്റെ നമ്പർ ആയിരിക്കാം പ്രശസ്ത ആപ്പിൽ കിടക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്കൊരു ഹെൽപ്പ് ഡെസ്ക് നമ്പർ തരും. ആ നമ്പറിൽ നമ്മൾ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവർ ആ ഡേറ്റ് ഡിലീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് തരും. അപ്പൊ ടീച്ചർ പറഞ്ഞ കേസിൽ പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിനും ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞത് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്?
This is not a contact number. This is an email ID. And we need to write, you have to write your query on email ID, which we have mentioned here. Process the help desk email ID. And on that, you need to mention your name, your contact details, UDIS number, and query details.
Pardon once more, ma'am. The email ID, could you please repeat the email ID once more?
Ma'am, I'll be sharing, ma'am. I'm sharing.
Process the help desk email ID is there. You need to write your query and mention your name, your contact detail, and UDIS code number, as well as your query in detail. So brief description about your query, your name, your contact detail, and UDIS code. You have to send this email to helpdesk of the Prashast. That is the prashast.help@ciet.nic.in. This is our email ID. Anyone has any difficulties in terms of Prashast application points of view, please write your query on this email ID with your name, with your contact detail, as well as UDIS code, and in brief what query what difficulty or query you are facing over there. Yeah.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ടീച്ചർ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ കേസുകളിൽ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിനും ടീച്ചേഴ്സിനും പറ്റാത്ത കേസുകളിൽ ഇപ്പൊ പ്രശസ്ത പറഞ്ഞ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡി ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഉണ്ടാവും. ആ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡിയിലേക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ്, യുഡൈസ് നമ്പർ, കോൺടാക്ട് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ദ ഹെഡ് ടീച്ചർ, പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിന്റെ കോൺടാക്ട് നമ്പർ, നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രോബ്ലം എന്താന്നുള്ളത് ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതിയിട്ട് അതൊന്ന് ആ മെയിലിലേക്ക് സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുക. നമുക്ക് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അതിനുള്ള ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസ് കിട്ടും. അതുപോലെ മാഡം പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ലിങ്ക് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ. ഓൾറെഡി അവരൊരു ലിങ്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോം നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. നിങ്ങൾ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ വീണ്ടും ഇടേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. എല്ലാവരും അറ്റൻഡൻസ് ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്യണു. അത് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. അവിടെ ഒരു ലിങ്ക് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോമിൽ ആൻസേഴ്സ് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ഓൾറെഡി നമ്മൾ രജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് ആവും. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ നമുക്ക് അവർ PPTയും ഒക്കെ ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് തരും. താങ്ക് യു സർ, യു ക്യാൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂ.
Thank you,
Sir,
Shreya.
ഒരു doubt.
Thank you, Shrivan ma'am. Hope
Yes, sir.
all the issues has been resolved. I mean, if still any issue someone facing, they can write us on the process.
Yes,
അല്ല, ഒരു
ma'am.
ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ട്.
ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല ഈ വർഷം. കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം പ്രശസ്ത ആപ്പ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന HM തന്നെയാണ് ഞാന്. ഈ വർഷം നമുക്ക് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല, OTP ഒന്നും വരുന്നില്ല. ആധാർ
Just
നമ്പർ
please
ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ട്
share the
പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
Google form in the chat. So
ഇത് മെസ്സേജ് വരണേ. അപ്പോൾ വാട്ട് മെസ്സേജ് ഈസ് കമ്മിങ്? ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുമ്പോൾ, ടീച്ചർ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് മെസ്സേജാ വരുന്നേ?
Deepa ma'am, is there any question?
ഹലോ മാഡം, ഒരു ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ട്.
Yes, ma'am. She's asking. She was the same principal who was logging in the Precious tab last year too, but now she can't log in. No change in principal name or contact number or mail ID, but she can't log in this year.
Actually, ma'am, application is revamped. So he need to delete and re-download the application from the Play Store or App Store. And then need to log in through Meri Pehchan first. And after the login through Meri Pehchan, they need to select the role. Then they can work in the application. So new version have some login changes in login process. So that's why facing the challenges.
So, ma'am പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ പ്ലേ സ്റ്റോറിൽ നിന്ന് ആപ്പ് ഒന്നുകൂടി പ്രശസ്തിന്റെ ന്യൂ വേർഷൻ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ ന്യൂ വേർഷൻ ഒന്നുകൂടി ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കൊടുത്ത് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക എന്നാണ്. ഒന്നുകൂടി ചെയ്ത് നോക്കിയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവരെ അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യാം.
ഓക്കെ
മാഡം, ഒരു ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ട്. കുറെ നേരം കൊണ്ട് ചോദിക്കണമെന്ന് കരുതുന്നു. പ്രശസ്ത ആപ്പ് ഡിലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പിന്നെയും ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്തു. എന്നിട്ട് വരുന്നത് പിന്നെയും പഴയ പോലെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് സ്ക്രീനിങ് എന്ന് പാർട്ട് 1 എന്ന് മാത്രമേ കാണിക്കുന്നുള്ളൂ. പുതിയ കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും അപ്ഡേറ്റഡ് ആവുന്നില്ല അതിൽ. ഹലോ
Ma'am, one more doubt that has been put forward by a sir is that he deleted the app, he reinstalled it, but still no progress is shown. So what can be done?
Is a special educator or a teacher or head teacher?
Sir, head teacher alle?
ടീച്ചർ.
Teacher.
Okay, so he had registered as a teacher, but nothing is shown in the application. Is it so?
യെസ്.
Sir, marubadi
No. So, sir, you have to add a school. Did you added your school by clicking on the add button, add school button?
ആഡ് സ്കൂൾ ബട്ടൺ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് സാർ ചെയ്തിരുന്നോ?
I can't
You
even
have to
see
add-
that. I can't even see that option here.
Okay.
Option is there, sir. Add school. You have to add your school and add UDIS
There
number
are
of your
4
school
options.
over there.
Here there are 4 options: home,
Show,
profile, and
Ajay.
help.
Is it
Yes,
possible?
yes, ma'am.
Sir, we are
Do you
showing
want
here to you.
Sir, just please wait for me. Sir, we are taking you step by step. Sir, you have selected a role of teacher by clicking on this. Okay. Sir, next you have filled in the details along with the school UDIS code that is given over here. And after this verification, sir, our question is, sir, have you reached to this screen as a teacher?
Sir, I have already registered, but I can't see that.
Okay, the screen is not visible to you.
No, I can't see that clearly. Could you please
Sir, have
brief
you
that?
completed your role selection procedure?
Sir, I request you just log in right now and see this page is available in your application. Add school.
Yes,
Actually, I am
Because-
using this application from another phone.
One thing, sir, please share your mobile number. Our team will contact you and handhold you so you
Yes,
can
sir.
work on this application.
I will write it down.
Yes,
Ah,
sir.
yes,
Kindly
sure, sir.
write in-
Please write it, sir.
Okay.
So
I will write it
application
down
needs
right
to be clear that they must add school first, then only they can work on this.
Okay.
So, ma'am, can you move forward, Deepa ma'am?
Any other question, or we shall start for the next process?
Assign screening for special educators.
Shall we start, Sharon or Deepa ma'am?
Madam, what is Mary Paijan? What is that?
Okay, sir, Meri Pehchan is Government of India's national single sign-on, and Meri Pehchan is just a single sign-on given us just for authentication. That is just a tool that we are using to verify Indian like people in our country for using Aadhaar.
Actually, sir, the data is on Prasad is very confidential. It is screening data. So for the security purpose, in this application now, Meri Pehchan login is mandatory. So it would validate the person who is registered on the application is the right person whose detail he is
Accessing, yes.
in the entering in the application. That's why this is mandatory
Yeah,
now.
madam. Okay, madam. We are not open to DigiLocker account. Then we want to go to Meri Pehchan.
So DigiLocker and Meri Pehchan is the same thing. So you can register yourself on DigiLocker and your information is automatically fetched by the application. When you enter your Aadhaar number or your mobile number, this application is automatically fetch your information.
Sir, we are sharing a link for Meri Pehchan, like a login link where you can go and either create account or check whether details linked to your DigiLocker account is correct or not.
Can we edit the details in Meri Pehchan?
Ma'am, we cannot edit all the details in Meri Pehchan because we have seen in few cases like if the user has not entered after first login, if they have not entered their name, so there may be option to correct, but if the details were entered earlier, so you cannot correct those details because those details are fetched from Aadhaar. You can only edit mobile number and email address on DigiLocker account. For other details to be changed, like there could be discrepancies in the first name and the last name, there could be change in their gender or the date of birth. So that can be done only by visiting Aadhaar centers.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, if this link is not opening, we would request to try Meri Pehchan on Google. Over there, you'll find a Government of India gov.in link over there because the link is working fine on our system. Yes, sir, that is working fine.
Sir, can I speak in Malayalam?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Google form അല്ലേ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോമിലെ നെയിം ഓഫ് ഡിസ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ ഡിസ്ട്രിക്റ്റ് ആണോ അത്
യെസ്
ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് അതിന് താഴെ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് നമുക്ക് ആപ്റ്റ് ആവുന്ന ആൻസേഴ്സ് ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യാം
യെസ്
താങ്ക് യു
So for next process, I'd like to request Hemlatta ma'am. Ma'am, please tell us how the headmaster can assign the classes to the special educator for part 2 screening.
Yeah, very important that after giving approval to special educator, as a headmaster, we need to assign the classes for the part 2 screening to special educator. Let's see how we are going to do this. As a head teacher, this is my dashboard and I can see that assign screening button is here in orange color. I need to click on this as I have done for the in the case of the teacher's points of view. Same I need to do here for the special educator points of view. Ajay?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just clicking on assign screening. You can see that assign screening part 2 button is here. Now you can click on this. Once you click on this, you can see that assign new screening part 2 button is here in blue color. You have to click on that. Now you can see that the profile is coming. Details profile means detail profile in the sense as a head teacher you need to fill here assign screening to the special educator. So you have to click on this. So that drop down you get the name of the teachers, a special educator, as well as start date and end date. And you have to select the class because here we did not given section to the special educator because special educator has to do a screening for the multiple school. Screen is not visible. Yeah. Next. Yeah, you can see that the date assigned to the special educator can be modified, start date and end date. So this is the process we are following in case of the special educator. We can select the classes or here. So class Balvatika to the 12th standard, you can select anyone. Now You can see that everything I have filled here. Name of the special educator Dharampal Singh, start date, end date. You can see that 30 days are available, 25 December to 23 Feb 2026, Balvatika 1. So 90 days time is given to the special educator. If everything is correct from my side, I can click on the submit button. Now, once I submit button, you can see that this is the screening assigned to the special educator. Now you can see that screening acceptance is pending, means it shows that I have created and I have assigned the screening for Balvatika 1 to Dharampal Singh. But Dharampal Singh, say special educator, has to log in his application and accept my request first here. So for this, he has to log in as well as see the notification and accept this screening. So here the one task is over. Principal has assigned the screening. Now here the pencil button, you can see that once you click on the pencil button, you can edit the start date and end date. Even you can change the name of the special educator. So this right is given to the principal basically. So now you can see that I have
So this is the process of part 2 screening
Yeah.
assigning. So now the teacher and special educator have assigned classes. So now the teacher work is started. Teacher need to add these students in their assigned classes, and there is 3 method to add these students. So Ajay sir, it is my request to you to kindly demonstrate the process how the teacher can add these students in their assigned classes.
Yes, ma'am. So once the students like teachers are onboarded and special educators are onboarded and head teacher has assigned screening to the teacher and special educator, now we'll be seeing how to begin with, like how the teacher can start with screening part 1 on PRASHAST application. So to add student in PRASHAST application, the teacher has to go to start screening part 1. Okay, and after going to this section, the teacher can see the number of classes he or she has been assigned. And right now, like that, this is the first classroom that is being assigned, and the status is not started. Okay, so over here in this classroom, there's an option to add student. We can see at the bottom there's an option to add student. So teacher will click on add student. The teacher will be given 3 options. So we'll be seeing how teacher can add by using 3 options. The first option is add individual. Okay. So once the teacher clicks on add individual, a form will open where the teacher will be filling details of the student, registration ID, UDI's code, PAR ID, and once we scroll down, there are other details like student's mobile number and parents' detail. So over here, we like to highlight the student name could be as per their record or the school record, but in registration ID, please make sure this is a unique number that is being given to the student. In any school, a student will have his or her unique registration ID. This could be any alphanumeric number that is being followed by the school. Okay, and moving forward, once this student is added, once the details are submitted, you can see now in class, once going back in this class, you can see the screening has started. Number of student added is 1. So we'll be seeing if the other options to add student. So like there, this is a right now this application is there only on mobile. So there could be issues while uploading bulk details. So there's an option to upload CSV file. So once a teacher clicks on bulk option, like in add student, they'll get an option to bulk upload. For bulk upload, the teacher will get a screen which says upload CSV file. So we have provided the CSV file in download file template and details or detailed instruction how to fill the CSV file. So the teacher will be downloading the CSV file from the link given in this page. And once the file is downloaded, and if we open the file on any spreadsheet tool, that could be MS Office or Google spreadsheet, so you'll be seeing a sheet like this where I request you not to make any changes on the column heads, that is the first row. You can add student from from second row onwards. And once the details are added, once you have copied the details in this CSV file, So you have to transfer it to the mobile, and in mobile there's an option to upload CSV. You can upload the files over here. And there's a third option that you have seen, that is import existing. This is only valid for the schools who have conducted screening in previous years, that is in 2022, 23, or 24. They can use this option. So after clicking this option, the teacher will get an option to import student for a particular class from the academic year that might be from previous or last to last year. Okay, you have to select the academic year, fill in the class detail and section, and after submitting, the student's detail can be fetched in the application. So this was a step like how we can add student in our classroom. So
Okay,
yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Ajay sir, now the teacher can add the student in assigned class by 3 ways. So before going further or get to know how the teacher can perform part one screening, Ajay sir, can you announce the post test?
Yes, ma'am. To ma'am and sir, everybody who is there in this session, as we have given pre-test, that was just to give an idea like what are the questions we are asking and to understand how much you know about the application. And this is for the second post-test is more for our improvement. So we are again sharing an assessment form. This will have the same questions, and but it will have a feedback option. We request you to please give us feedback because those feedbacks are valuable to us, along with rating about the session and scope of improvement in days to come.
And the most important thing, if you fill the form, we automatically receive your email IDs.
And we'll be sharing details.
And by the evening, we will share the YouTube link of this session, also the PDF, some advocacy material. So all we shared with you with the email IDs we received. So now, Hemlatta ma'am, as the student are added in the classes, now the teacher will perform part one screening. How the teacher can perform part one screening with this application?
Sure, Asana. We'll show to our teachers that how they can conduct the part one screening. Let's see. Now this is the dashboard of the teacher. We can observe this. And here the green button start screening part one. So we have to click here. And once you click here, you will see the class assigned to you by the head teacher. Here assignment is the Balvatika 1 section A. I need to click on this. Let's see. Once I click on that, a student A, which is already added by me, because as a teacher, I have added this student name here. So it's shown here, but it was not shown as a not started. It was shown as a not started. It means I have not started screening for this child. So I need to click on this. Once I click on this, I can observe the profile filled by me regarding the students. So I just verify it is correctly filled or not. If not, then I can edit profile. If I find that this student is not currently available in my class, so you can remove also. This two feature is available. Now I'm verifying this, and if it is all is correct, then I click on start screening part one blue button. I'm just clicking on that. And see the statement is available. Now this is total 63 statement and general statement. Here I advise all the teacher before going for this part one screening, you must observe your child for at least 7 to 15 days, and then you just read this statement and see that this statement is aligned with your child or not. If it is not aligned, then you can select the none of the above option. And if it is aligned, you just save and submit. Final submission you can do. If you don't have a time to complete at a stretch this screening, you just click on save. You can start a screening whenever you have a time again. So both the type of option is given to you as a teacher. Now I am going to click on the save and submit button because I am sure that I have completed my screening for my child. Now I can see that once I click on save and submit, I receive the notification here. Are you sure you want to submit screening part one? If as a teacher I'm sure, I will click on yes. If I'm not sure, then I click on no. But here I'm sure, so I'm just clicking on yes. Okay. Once I click on yes, I'll find my student profile, which I have filled here for this application. I just go through it and see the message I have received. The data has been submitted successfully. So you can see that this part 1 screening we have completed. Yeah. And you see that you can observe the report of part 1 screening here.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so I'll be taking forward with part 2 screening.
Sir, before
Yes, ma'am.
going to part 2 screening, just wait for a minute. We have just when the part 1 screening completed, now the special educator part is started for part 2 screening. So as we know, the student special educator can add multiple school, can join multiple school. Plus, it is necessary to accept the request for part 2 screening. So, and I just demonstrate us how the special educator can join multiple school, where he or she can find this list of the schools and how they can accept the request sent by the headmaster for part 2 screening.
Yes, ma'am. So first, for these details, we can see like a special educator can find the list of school he or she is associated under the section which is My School. Over here, we can find View All option. We can click on this and we can see the list of school and how we can see like how to get associated with multiple school. There's an option to add school. A special educator can click on add school, then he or she will get an option to enter the UDICE code, and this will help. This will enable them to get associated with multiple schools. And going forward, like how to ensure that you have received screening. So this is very important for any special educator that is who are onboarding and who have been assigned screening. We request you to at least visit this notification, because over here the special educator will find the screening assigned to them. So for example, in this case, the special educator has received two notification over here. So after clicking this, we'll get a screen where the special educator has been assigned two screenings. So once we select an option, for example, we are selecting the second option over here. So this is the place where the special educator will get an option to accept screening. Once the screening is accepted, the head teacher will get that tag changed where we have seen acceptance pending for special educator. Now the special head teacher would know the special educator is aware that he or she has been assigned with the screening of a particular class in the school. Yes, ma'am.
So this is the way that special educator can accept the request. So after the acceptance, where he can see the accepted classes and the list of the school.
Yes, ma'am. So like over here, we have performed acceptance of just one school over here. So we can see like in that school that we have accepted right now, there was just one student. So his screening needs we have to do the screening of this student, and this is only screening pending. And for the school, we'll find the detail of the school over here. Once we click on either view all if there are many schools, but in this case, we'll be clicking on this option over here. Once we click on this tab, we'll be entering the school to start screening part 2.
Okay. And if a special educator want to add new school, so where he or she need to click?
Okay, ma'am, to add new schools, the special educator will be clicking on the option of add schools so that he or she will get an option to fill in the UDICE code of the school where he or she wants to get associated.
So just after entering the UDICE code, the request automatically sent to the headmaster for acceptance.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is just 1 or 2 steps.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ajay sir. Now we further move to Hemlatta ma'am for knowing how the special educator can perform part 2 screening.
Okay. Yeah. Now we can see that there are a number of school lists is available here. View all school. You can click on the school also, or you can start screening also, and you can click on that. You will get the classroom. Your Balvatika one is assigned to you. Now you can observe that how many students were screen in part 1, 3 out of 4, and screening part 2 progress is 0 out of 1 because one student is sent to the part 2 screening for the special educator. So this is the overall result as special educator you can observe. So detailed condition of the class you can observe from your application. Now I need to click on this student A because I need to screen this student for the part 2 because it's showing here not started. You can see that. So I click on that. And once I click on that, I observe the student A profile in detail. I'm going to check all the details filled by the teacher. If it is correct for my student to whom I'm going to observe, I click on this start screening part 2 because according to me, if it is correct, I'll go with this. Yeah. Next thing is that once you click on that, you see the screening part 1 history. As a special educator, it is very important that you must know that your teacher, which statement your teacher has selected for the student. You have to observe your student also and check, connect this statement with your student. If it is okay, then you can go with the continuous screening part 2. And if you found something is not related to your student, you have a freedom to select some other disabilities or no disabilities. Let's see how it works. I'll continue with continue screening part 2. So I'm clicking on that. I will see the box available here. Now a drop down arrow is there. Once I click on the drop down arrow, I will see the various types of disabilities mentioned here, 21 disabilities. I will observe my child and see that which is connect to my student first. If not, then I'll select the no disability. See the option is available so that total right means total specific right given to the special educator to select the disabilities for the children. And now we can proceed further. See, I have selected locomotor disability. I have observed my child as well as observed the student teacher's part 1 history. I have selected locomotor disability. Now I click on this. I will get a detailed statement for locomotor disability and I observe again this statement and read this statement and observe my child. If these symptoms I found in my child, I'll select yes. If not, I will select no option. I will complete the survey here and I submit this button, save. If save means if we are not able to complete the survey immediately, we just save and start it again. Observation is also available for the special educator. You can write observation for this child. If you feel that this child need urgent support or any requirement, you can definitely write here. And finally, if you are clear that this information filled by me is correct and appropriate, you can submit the save and you click on the save and submit button. I'll try to click on the save and submit button. Let's see. Now this application is asking me, are you sure you want to proceed with the submission? If as a special educator, I'm sure that this information filled by me is correct and appropriate, I will click on yes. Once you click on yes, you will see the student profile here in detail. You need to check and you can download the report of your student. And once you click on the download the report, let's see what we can see here. Let's see view history, whatever you have filled for your student, you can see all the statement here and details, students details here also mentioned that part 1 screening done by whom and how many disabilities were marked by the special educator. So this is the part 2 screening process completed by the special educator.
Okay, Hemlatta ma'am. So, special educator, if a special educator wants, so he or she can change the screening details of part 1 screening.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay.
So teacher doesn't have to worry because your part 1 screening will be observed by the special educator. If you have somehow in a doubt selected some statement wrongfully, don't worry. Special educator will see that also.
So if a teacher have doubt, so go with doubt and select this statement.
Yes, because it will help to the children only. Doubt may be rectified by the special educator. But symptoms, if you observe, you can put it, no issue.
Okay. So, just we receive many queries regarding a single teacher school. Like in India, there are many schools which is run by the single teacher, maybe the headmaster, maybe the teacher. So how if person who are the headmaster or the teacher can perform multiple roles in schools with this application?
Yes, ma'am. Before proceeding, I would like to address a query. can you tell what is this APAR ID? Okay, ma'am, this APAR ID is an ID generated by Government of India for all the students. So we have seen like most of this, like India is in India, most of the schools or the students have received their APAR ID. So they can, if the student has a APAR ID, then teacher can use those details for students while filling in detail. Okay. And this can also be, but this is a national ID that is being created for all the students in India. So we will be moving forward with the presentation. Yes.
See, there is a question that what is the next step after the screening by the special educator? The app is a tool, survey tool or referral tool for further intervention. So
Yes, ma'am. So once the screening is done, so with the after the revamp of this application, we are working to build a complete system. So for now, we are just having the role of screening part 1 and part 2. But going forward, we are working to connect this for assessment camp or aid distribution camp along with learning material that could be accommodated depending on the development of the application in days to come. So, yes, ma'am.
yeah. So I want to highlight and add with your point only that ministry is thinking to build an ecosystem for our all the children so that the identification can be done, assessment can be done, certification support can be done later on. So this is the one phase we have reached. So we can't just say that it's a survey tool. We are going forward for the ecosystem built for our children as a PRASHAST.
So I have a question. Is this compulsorily to be done by all the schools?
Yes, sir. It is, yes, ma'am. It is mandatory to use all the teachers in all the schools for the screening because in all the policies like the RTE Act 2009, RPWD Act 2016, and NEP recommended for the school level screening of all the students.
Yes, ma'am.
So it should be done by the all schools.
See, one more thing that why we want to cover every child because there are a number of symptoms which can't be observed and seen and how the children are suffering. We know that even through this application, we capture the requirement of our every children. So it's very important that we do a screening for each and every child because further I'm repeating again that this is the ecosystem we are going to build. So further intervention and requirement of our children needs to be taken care by the ministry later on. So it is advisable to all of us that please screen each and every child for their benefit in future. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, so I will be proceeding
One more
with.
thing.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Ma'am, they have a doubt that whether the screening is to be done for a student with disability certificate.
No, ma'am, for all the students, ma'am.
Yeah. Even certificate you have received for UDID, you still have to screen for.
Ma'am, because there might be possibility that student might be having some more disability that needs, if they are
Yes,
identified at the early stage, that can be guided further.
Yeah. And
Okay,
this
thank you.
type of scenario observed in the field also. We marked the one UDID and some other disability also found. So we request all the teachers that please at least do and screen your students so that anything else can be captured initially and support can be noted for the student. Yes.
So, sir, please
So I
explain.
have one more just question. I'm so sorry, just one more question. Is parental consent necessary to administer this questions?
Parental consent, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we inform the parents that such a screening is going on and the student is subjected to this test?
We never claim that we are going to label any student here. For more thing, discrimination always we already disclose that this is only a screening tool. We are not identifying, we are not labeling any student. So there is no need to inform your parent apparently. But if you want to inform, doesn't matter at all. You can say to parents also This is the screening, and we consider the general screening is the first important for every child. If they mark over there, then only the part 2 screening is to be done. And one more thing I want to highlight here, we know that the children needs comes from the various angle, and that's why this application is developed, that exactly which type of difficulties are children facing over there. So currently, I don't think so that we are not labeling, we are not assessing medically over there. So there is no need to say to the parents. But if they are asking, if you want to, you can, no issues if you disclose also.
Ma'am, it is mandatory to take parental consent when you send the student in the assessment and certification camp. So for the school level screening, you can use this application for with each and every child, because this application prevent unscientific labeling. This is only for screening the disabilities, not for the diagnostic or identification purpose. So it will help to screen the child, and then we can go to the camp, and if then you can take the parental consent.
And if you know that screening is important for the teacher's points of view also, many a time we did not know exactly which type of situation our children is facing. So general screening is really important. And once we do general screening, identification will go to the part 2. So we are not labeling. So you can definitely screen all the children here.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll be going forward with single teacher school feature in this application. So while moving on to single teacher school, there's few things that we should take care. First, anyone who is heading a school as a teacher or as principal, they should log in only using a principal's profile. That means while they enter using Meri Pehchan, while selecting the role, they have to take the role of a teacher. Oh, head teacher. I'm really very sorry. They have to take the role of a head teacher. And the second step is they have to note their precious account number. Okay. The first step is to log in with the head teacher. As you can see, I'm Ajay Prasad and I've logged in as a head teacher over here. My next step would be to look for precious account number. I'll find precious account number in my profile. As you can see below, there's profile option of profile. And once you click over here, I'll be taken to a profile. Over here, I'll see my name, my designation, and a precious account number. I have to copy this precious account number using this symbol of copy over here. Once I do this, I'll go back to home by clicking on home at the bottom of the page, and then I'll go to manage teacher over here. After entering manage teacher, I'll find there's an option to add teacher in this section. Once I do this, and over here, I'll have to enter the precious account number that I've copied from my profile. This means I'm adding myself as the teacher in this application. So once I add my precious account number and submit, I'll get an OTP. Because adding teacher, this can be done for any individual, but right now I'm adding myself and I'm the head teacher. So I'll be verifying myself through the mobile number. Once this is done, uh, there will be a confirmation message that the teacher has been successfully added by the head teacher. And over here, you can see in the manage teacher section, over there in the accepted list, I can see that Ajay Prasad is the teacher in the school over here. And there would be a minor change in the profile once we go back by clicking in this back option over here. We can see the application has a minor change, like the name is here, designation is here, and beside designation there would be a drop down option. Once we click on this drop down option, we'll get access to different profiles. Like as a head teacher, I can assign a screening to myself, and after the screening has been assigned, I can go to teacher and conduct the screening of the school. So the same process is applicable for adding special educator. The only thing is that while adding the special educator, I have to enter the precious account number in the section of manage special educator. By clicking on this, and we have to follow the same process, there will be an option to add special educator. We'll be putting in the details of a special educator, and once that is done, we will get we can access the profiles through the drop down given in the homepage of a head teacher. So I hope like this is clear. If any query or doubt, if you face any query or doubt, we request you to please write us on Precious Help Desk so that our technical team can reach out to you to help you with all the issues that you're facing. Yes, ma'am and sir, I would also request we have shared post-assessment form. Please fill the form so that we get the feedback and we'll have the scope of improvement from ourselves.
So actually, sir, we received a question regarding the transfer and retirement case. So
Yes.
if the headmaster is retired or transferred, so how the new headmaster can register or the teacher or special educator can verify?
Okay, ma'am, if there's a transfer of a head teacher, so for any transfer case, we have an option to change school. For example, for head teacher, the teacher will have to go to the profile page, and in profile page, there's an option, not your school, like there's an option to change school. So by clicking on this, the head teacher will be able to fill in the UDICE code of a new school they are going to, and after filling the code, the request would be sent to the head teacher of the school. So we can find the change option in the profile. Similarly, for teacher also, we can see the change option in the profile section as a school inform beside the school information. So teacher can also apply for transfer of school or promotion. In case there has been a promotion, teacher will get an option to select the role. They can select head teacher and enter the UDICE code. So this will help them. These are the ways how a teacher and a head teacher can change profile in case of transfer or promotion.
Okay, so if the teacher is promoted, click
Yes.
on the change and select the new role. And if the headmaster is transferred or teacher is transferred, click on change, select the new school, enter the new school UDICE code, and this request will be automatically sent to the new headmaster
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
acceptance. Okay, and after acceptance, new school data will be visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you, Ajay sir, for clarifying the doubt of the users. One more doubt we received from multiple users like Ginny, Surya, and Asha ma'am. When we try to log in, invalid Aadhaar or invalid phone number showing.
Ma'am, these are errors we receive when the Aadhaar number or phone number is not linked with DigiLocker account. So we request you to please check once with DigiLocker. Like please try login into DigiLocker account or Meri Pehchan. And if your account you're facing error over there, please register as a new user. And after that, you can use the same credential to log into Meri Pehchan, like on Precious application.
Okay, so if any
Ma'am,
query,
yes, ma'am. And if in that case, if you face any uh, difficulty even after that, please write us to Precious Help Desk. We will see what else we can do or guide us to create an account on Meri Pehchan.
okay, sir. So, Deepa ma'am, anything else from your side?
Ma'am, I'm requesting all to clear their doubts directly from you if they're having some.
So, ma'am, now we are waiting for the question, issues, query from the user, and if there are any doubt, they can ask us directly. Sir, we received the same question. If HM is retiring, then how can login new headmaster? So, if possible, kindly repeat the process.
Yes, ma'am. If HMS headmaster is retiring, we would request you to, if you have a the headmaster
Is
is.
it possible to show the screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am. So if a headmaster is retiring, so there are two cases in this. If the headmaster is presently there and you don't know who is coming, in that case, if a new headmaster comes in, allow him to log in as a head teacher, or if he has an account, please ask him to go to Meri Pehchan, like on the, or not Meri Pehchan, on the profile page. In profile page, you'll get an option to change and apply for that change. And if the headmaster is new to this application, they will get an error that there's an existing headmaster. So in that case, we would request you to write us to Precious Help Desk so that we can get it rectified from the backend.
Okay, and the same question we received again. How can a head teacher change the school in the process tab after being transferred to another school if she's already logged in under the previous school?
Okay, ma'am. So in that case, ma'am, the head teacher will have to go to change school, and over there, he or she has to give the UDICE code of the new school where they are going. So once that is done, the head teacher of the new school will get a notification. Once he or she approves, the head teacher, the change in head teacher will happen.
Okay, Ajay sir. Deepa ma'am, is there any question you can ask to the participant? Or we can wait 1 or 2 minutes, then we can conclude this meeting.
ഓക്കെ മാം, എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പം തന്നെ ചോദിക്കണേ. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നമുക്കത് വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും സെഷൻ. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പം തന്നെ ചോദിച്ചാൽ മതി. മലയാളത്തിലോ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലോ എങ്ങനെയായാലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ തന്നല്ലോ, ആ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡി ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിലുണ്ട്, ഇപ്പോൾ കാണിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. ആ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡിയിലേക്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ കൺസേൺ റേസ് ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റും. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ചോദിക്കാനൊന്നും ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ
ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സില്
ഹലോ ഇൻഫോർമേഷൻ
കിട്ടും. നിങ്ങളത് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ലിങ്ക് ഇല്ലേ, ആ ലിങ്കിൽ ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അങ്ങനെ രജിസ്റ്റേർഡ് മെയിൽ ഐ ഡിയിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് മുഴുവൻ തരും.
പെട്ടെന്ന് കേൾക്കുമ്പോ എല്ലാം ഓർമ്മ കിട്ടണമെന്നില്ലല്ലോ.
അല്ല, PPT ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് മാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതിൽ തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾ ആ ലിങ്കിൽ കയറി ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോം ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പോൾ ആ മെയിൽ ഐ ഡിയിലേക്ക് നമ്മുടെ PPTയും ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും എല്ലാം വരും.
അതായത് മലയാളത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല എന്നാണല്ലോ കേട്ടെ.
ഇത് സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വീഡിയോ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നന്നായിരുന്നു.
അതുപോലെ
ഹലോ,
മലയാളത്തിലുള്ള PDF കിട്ടുമായിരുന്നു, നല്ലതായിരുന്നു.
ഹലോ,
മലയാളത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല എന്നാ കേട്ടെ.
Excuse me, ma'am. They are asking for a Malayalam description.
സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മളിത് ചെയ്യുന്നൊരു വീഡിയോ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നന്നായിരുന്നു. കാരണം ഇതിപ്പോ ഒറ്റയടിക്ക് പറയുമ്പോ എല്ലാം കൂടി അറിയില്ല അത്ര ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. ഞാനിപ്പോ ഞാൻ ടീച്ചറാണ്. HMന്റെ ഇപ്പൊ കേറാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ എൻറ്റർ ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അപ്പൊ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ബൈ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വീഡിയോ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളൊന്ന് റീട്രൈ ചെയ്യായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ മേരി പെഹച്ചാൻ എന്നുള്ളതിന്റെ പർപ്പസ് എന്താന്നുള്ളത് മുഴുവൻ മനസ്സിലായില്ല.
ടീച്ചറെ, അതിലെ നമ്മൾ ഓൾറെഡി ആദ്യത്തെ ഒരു ആപ്പില് കുട്ടികളുടെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് എല്ലാം ഇട്ടിരുന്നു. ക്ലാസ് ഇപ്പൊ അന്ന് നമ്മളോട് പറഞ്ഞത് ഓരോ ക്ലാസ്സിൻ്റെയും ഇപ്പൊ 16ന്റെ തന്നെ 3 ഡിവിഷന്റെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ടീച്ചറിനെ നമ്മൾ ആഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, അങ്ങനെയെല്ലാം ആയിരുന്നല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ അത് നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ കൊടുത്ത ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒക്കെ അപ്പൊ അത് നമുക്ക് നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അത് വീണ്ടും റീ എൻട്രി ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. ഇതെല്ലാം ക്ലാസ് വൈസ് എല്ലാം
റീഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യണം. റീഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്ത് നിങ്ങൾ ആദ്യം മുതൽ ഒന്നുകൂടി ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരണം തന്നെയാ പറഞ്ഞത്.
റീഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പം നമ്മൾ ലോഗിൻ വിത്ത് മൊബൈൽ നമ്പർ ഓർ ആധാറിനാ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പം ആധാറോ മൊബൈൽ നമ്പറോ HMന്റെ ആണോ അതോ ആ ടീച്ചറുടെ ആണോ കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്?
നമ്മൾ ആരാണോ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അവരുടെയാ കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത്. ഇപ്പൊ ടീച്ചറാണ് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നെങ്കിൽ ടീച്ചറിന്റെ കൊടുക്കുക, HMന്റേതാണെങ്കിൽ HM കൊടുക്കുക, അങ്ങനെ കൊടുക്കുക. സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റർ ആണെങ്കിൽ സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റർ. ആ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന കൺസേൺഡ് വ്യക്തിയുടെ തന്നെ മൊബൈൽ നമ്പർ കൊടുക്കുക.
അല്ലാണ്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യം ചെയ്തതുപോലെ HM ചെയ്തിട്ട് പിന്നെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സിന് അങ്ങനെയല്ല അല്ല ചെയ്യുന്നത്.
അങ്ങനെയല്ല,
രണ്ടാമത് ആപ്പിൽ കയറാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ നോക്കിയിട്ട് കയറാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. എനിക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യം ചെയ്തതാണ്, കുട്ടികളെയൊക്കെ അസൈൻ ചെയ്തതാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പൊ ആപ്പിൽ കയറാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
HM നമ്മളെ കൺഫേം ചെയ്യണമെന്നാണ് അവർ ഇപ്പോഴും പറഞ്ഞത്. HMന്റെ കയറിയിട്ട് HM ക്ലാസ് ടീച്ചറെയും സ്പെഷ്യൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്ററെയും കൺഫേം ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് അതിൽ കയറിയിട്ട് ബാക്കിയുള്ളത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂ എന്നാ പറഞ്ഞത്. യുഡൈസ് കോഡ് ഏത് സ്കൂളിന്റെ യുഡൈസ് കോഡുമായി അറ്റാച്ച് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന HM ആണോ പ്രിൻസിപ്പാണോ അവരെ ആദ്യം അസൈൻ ചെയ്യണം. അതിനുശേഷം അവർ നമ്മളെ കയറ്റിയാൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്കതിൽ എന്തും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂ എന്നാണ് ഇവർ ആദ്യം മുതലേ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ യുഡൈസ് കോഡ് ഇപ്പൊ പലതും യുഡൈസുമായിട്ട് അറ്റാച്ച് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന HMും പ്രിൻസിപ്പളൊക്കെ പലരും മാറിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അവരുമായി കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യണം എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്.
ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യണം എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. നമ്മൾ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്താൽ മാത്രമേ HMന് അത് കാണാൻ കഴിയുള്ളൂ.
നമ്മുടെ ഫോണിൽ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. നമ്മുടെ ഫോണിൽ സാധാരണ നമ്മൾ പ്രശസ്ത രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുകൂടാതെ HM കൺഫർമേഷൻ കൊടുത്താലേ നമുക്ക് അതിൽ കയറാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
അതാണ് ടീച്ചർ ചോദിച്ചത്. അത് ഓക്കെ. ടീച്ചർ ചോദിച്ചത് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് സ്വന്തം ഫോൺ നമ്പർ അല്ലേ ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ടത്?
സ്വന്തം ഫോൺ നമ്പറും സ്വന്തം മെയിൽ സ്വന്തം തന്നെയാണ് എല്ലാം ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. നമ്മള് പ്രശസ്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ സാധാരണ പോകുന്ന പോലെ പോയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്താൽ മതി. പക്ഷെ അവിടെ പ്രശ്നം എന്താ വരുന്ന അറിയോ, ഈ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽമാരും എച്ച്എംമാരൊക്കെ മാറിയിട്ടുണ്ട് പല സ്കൂളിലും. അപ്പൊ എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാ ഇപ്പൊ അത് നമുക്ക് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റണില്ല. ഇനിയിപ്പം അതുള്ളവരെല്ലാം
ചേഞ്ച്
അയക്കേണ്ടി
ചെയ്യാൻ
വരും.
ഓപ്ഷൻ പറയുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. നമുക്ക് ഇനി പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു മെയിൽ വഴി നമുക്ക് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഡീറ്റെയിൽ നമുക്കൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാം. നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ചോദിക്കാം. സ്കൂളിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ്, കോൺടാക്ട് നമ്പർ ഒക്കെ കൊടുത്തിട്ട് യുഡൈസ് കോഡും ഒക്കെ കൊടുത്ത് കൺസേൺ ഒന്ന് എഴുതി മെയിലിലേക്ക് ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു റിപ്ലൈ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടും. മാം, ഐ തിങ്ക് യു വിൽ ബി ഗെറ്റിംഗ് എ ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് മെയിൽസ് ഓൺ ദിസ് പ്രോബ്ലം.
So, ma'am, we are ready to receive all the queries and resolve their issues. They can write us. We will take mostly 24 to 48 hours to respond to the user. So they can write us.
Okay, I think.
And if you don't get any response within a week, you can again write an email, not an issue. Don't worry for that. Anyhow, if possible.
ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് മെയിൽ വിടാം. മെയിൽ വിട്ടിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഒരു 48 hours റെസ്പോൺസ് കിട്ടിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒന്നുകൂടി ആ മെയിൽ ഒന്ന് വീണ്ടും ഫോർവേഡ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കാം. നമുക്ക് ഉടനെ തന്നെ റെസ്പോൺസ് കിട്ടും എന്നാണ് മാം പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ഷാൽ വി വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് മാം?
നമുക്ക് ഇതിന്റെ മലയാളം PDF കിട്ടാനുള്ള മാർഗമുണ്ടോ?
സർ, അത് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ആലോചിക്കാം.
Am I correct?
They are asking for a Malayalam PDF, ma'am.
Yeah, we doesn't have right now currently. Only English and Hindi is available with us. But I will definitely explore for this and will try to reach out to you again.
Okay, ma'am.
Deepa
ma'am, ഇപ്പോഴും മേരി പഗ്ജാൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആപ്പിന്റെ പർപ്പസ് എന്താണെന്ന് ക്ലിയർ ആയില്ല.
Ma'am, could you please explain once more? They are not still aware of the purpose of this Mary Pagchan app.
Okay.
Actually, ma'am, there is this data is very sensitive. The data is very sensitive on the PRASHAST application. It is screening data. So we want each and everyone who comes to the application should be verified, the right person in the application. That's why this Meri Pehchan login is mandatory. So all are the Indian citizens already have registered on the Meri Pehchan or DigiLocker. If not, they can register. And when they come to the application for the login purpose, they first log in through the Meri Pehchan. Their data is fresh from the Meri Pehchan. Then they can select the role as a teacher, headmaster, and special educator.
Okay, ma'am. Is this mandatory to have a login in DigiLocker?
Yes, ma'am, it is mandatory.
Before logging to this PRASHAST app.
Because we are not taking any other detail from the user. This is we fetch the data from the Meri Pehchan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
മാം, നമുക്ക് ഡിജിലോക്കർ ഐഡി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ മേരി പഗ്ജാൻ മാൻഡേറ്ററി ആണെന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്.
അല്ല, ഡിജിലോക്കർ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് മേരി പഗ്ചാൻ ആവശ്യമില്ലെന്നാണ് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത്. ഡിജിലോക്കർ ലോഗിൻ ഉണ്ടെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് നേരിട്ട് കയറാം എന്നാണ് മാം പറഞ്ഞതെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായി. നമുക്കൊന്ന് കയറി നോക്കാം.
ഞാനിപ്പോ ഡിജിലോക്കർ വെച്ച് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ വേണോന്ന് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്.
അത് വേണ്ടി വരില്ല മാം. ഇഫ് ദേ ആർ ഹാവിംഗ് ദി ഡിജിലോക്കർ അക്കൗണ്ട്, then is it necessary to have this Meri Pagchan login also?
Both are same.
Ma'am, both are same, ma'am.
Both are same. വേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല ടീച്ചറെ.
Okay, thank you.
So on behalf of this
ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം ഇതിൽ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കിയാൽ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഓക്കെ ആവുമായിരിക്കും അല്ലേ?
ഡിജിലോക്കർ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ മേരി പഗ്ചാന്റെ രണ്ടും ഒന്ന് തന്നെയാണെന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. ഡിജിലോക്കർ ഉണ്ടെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ തോന്നുന്നു.
മേഡം, ഒരു സംശയം കൂടി ചോദിച്ചോട്ടെ.
ഓക്കെ,
നമുക്ക് ഈ കുട്ടികളുടെ പേര് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അതിനകത്ത് ആധാർ ID എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു നമ്പർ ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് പാരന്റ്സ് വേണ്ടേ നമുക്ക് ചെയ്തു തരാനായിട്ട്?
അപ്പാർ നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പം മറ്റേ നമ്മുടെ ആധാർ ID പോലെ മസ്റ്റായി വളരെ കോമൺ ആയിട്ട് വരുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമാണ്. അതിപ്പോ നമ്മൾ അക്ഷയ ചെയ്താലും പേരൻസിന് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരെണ്ണമാണ്. നമുക്ക് സ്വയവും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരെണ്ണമാണ്. അത് അവരോടൊന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ചെയ്യിപ്പിച്ചാൽ മതി. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് സ്കൂളിൽ
ചെയ്യാൻ അറിയില്ലാത്ത പാരന്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം?
നമുക്കത് അക്ഷയ പോയി അവരോടൊന്ന് ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. അത്
അതിനുവേണ്ടി തയ്യാറായില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും?
നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം എന്താ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി ഒന്നും ഇല്ലല്ലോ.
ഈ ആധാറിന്റെ നമ്മള് ഇത് അടിച്ചു കൊടുത്താൽ പോരെ, നമ്പർ അടിച്ചു കൊടുത്താൽ പോരെ. പിന്നെ എന്തെങ്കിലും വേണമെങ്കിൽ സ്കാൻ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്താൽ അതുപോലെ. എന്തിനാ ഡിജിലോക്കറിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇട്ടിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡയറക്റ്റ് സ്കാൻ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്താൽ പോരെ? അത് പറ്റുമോ?
ചെയ്ത് നോക്കാം സാർ. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് പിന്നെ അവരെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാമല്ലോ. ചെയ്ത് നോക്കാം. നമ്മളിപ്പോ
മാഡം ഇതിന് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് PDF ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ.
യെസ്,
അത് നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ കിട്ടും?
നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു ലിങ്ക് തന്നിട്ടില്ലേ, ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോം. ആ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോം ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ നിങ്ങളുടെ മെയിൽ ID അവർക്ക് കിട്ടുമല്ലോ. ആ മെയിൽ IDയിലേക്ക് അവർ PPTയും ഈ പ്രസന്റേഷനും സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യും എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
ടീച്ചർ, ഈ കുട്ടി ഈ അക്കാഡമിക് ഇയർ എന്ന് പറയാൻ നമുക്കിപ്പോ മാർച്ച് വരെ ആണല്ലോ. അപ്പോ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ എല്ലാ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും ഈ മാർച്ചിനുള്ളിൽ നമ്മളിത് ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് നിർബന്ധമാണ്.
Ma'am, they are asking whether we should complete the process by March itself.
Yes, ma'am. If possible, if this can be done, then this will be really helpful. Yes, ma'am, because there's examinations are going on. If possible, like if the process can be done, so this will be good.
മാക്സിമം നമുക്ക് മാർച്ചിൽ വരെ തന്നെ പൂർത്തിയാക്കാൻ നോക്കാം. അത് സാധിക്കുമെങ്കിൽ നോക്കാനാണ് അവർ പറയണത്. ഇനിയൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ.
Deepa ma'am, we request all the participants, as we completed today's session, please try to log in on the application, being a teacher, head teacher or special educator. And if they found any difficulty, immediately please write us on Prasad help desk email ID. So it will be helpful to all of us to solve the issues.
ഓക്കെ മാം, വിൽ ഇൻഫോം. നമുക്കപ്പോൾ ഇത് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഉടനെ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ പ്രശസ്ത ആപ്പിൽ ഒന്ന് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കുക. ഡിഫിക്കൽറ്റി വന്നാൽ ഉടനെ തന്നെ നമുക്കൊരു മെയിൽ ആ ഹെൽപ്പ് ഡെസ്കിലേക്ക് വിട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കൊരു ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷൻ കിട്ടും. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇനി വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യരുത്. ഇനി നാളെ ആയാലും രാവിലെ നിങ്ങൾ സ്കൂളിലെത്തിയ ഉടനെ ഈ വിവരങ്ങൾ മറ്റുള്ളവരെ കൂടി ഇൻഫോം ചെയ്ത് എല്ലാവരും അതിൽ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്യുക. എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒഫീഷ്യൽ മെയിൽ ID യിൽ നിന്ന്, സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ മെയിൽ ID യിൽ നിന്നും നിങ്ങളൊരു കൺസേൺ റേസ് ചെയ്തിടുക. ഓക്കെ,
എല്ലാ ക്ലാസ് ടീച്ചേഴ്സും ചെയ്യണ്ടേ?
അങ്ങനെയല്ലേ മാഷെ പറഞ്ഞത്? അങ്ങനെ തന്നെയാണല്ലോ പറഞ്ഞത്. സ്ക്രീനിങ് നടത്തുന്ന ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് എല്ലാം.
ക്ലാസ് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് മാത്രം ചെയ്താൽ മതിയല്ലേ?
എല്ലാ കുട്ടികളെയും ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തണം എന്നല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞത്?
അങ്ങനെയാണ്. സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് ഉള്ള കുട്ടികളെ പോലും ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തുക. കാരണം അവർക്ക് വേറൊരു ടൈപ്പ് ഡിസബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കത് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് ഉള്ള കുട്ടികളെ പോലും ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തുക എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാ കുട്ടികളെയും നമ്മൾ സ്ക്രീനിങ്ങിന് വിധേയമാക്കണം തന്നെയാണ് പല ആവർത്തി പറഞ്ഞത്. ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് അവരുടെ ടൈം. Okay, ma'am. I'll take one more second, ma'am. On behalf of the Samakrishisha Kerala Ernakulam and all the participants here, I'm taking this opportunity to thank Hemlatta ma'am and team for having giving us a detailed explanation of this PRASHAST app usage. And we are very thankful to you for spending your time for clearing all our doubts. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And please share your queries and details if you require to solve and understand the process. So you are welcome for the queries and details, and please share with us with help desk number. Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepa
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you all the teachers here. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.